Congratulations for being here. I see a lot of people on the call. Wherever you're from, first of all, thank you very much for being on this call. And today, what this call is about is really talking about how you can enhance your lifestyle and change your lifestyle for the better. Because I remember only a few years back, I didn't have the lifestyle that I wanted. And, I wanted to travel around the world, help my parents, and do a lot of charity work at the same time. And I wasn't in a financial situation where I could do that. In life, I believe that money is not everything. But if you do have the finance sorted, this can help you with other areas of your life, which could drastically improve your lifestyle. And how can you improve your lifestyle? Well, there's so many ways we know that you can actually make money when it comes to digital marketing. And my mentor always told me, when I didn't have the lifestyle that I wanted, my mentor told me, Moin, if you want a great lifestyle, find someone who has what you want and just copy what they do and listen to their advice. So I'd like to point out to someone that I highly respect is Bill Gates. Bill Gates is someone that we all know, and can we agree that he has really made a fortune? And if he says something, I listen to it. And this is what Bill Gates says. He says, the secret of success in business is in detecting where the world will go and getting there first. So what is he saying there? He's saying, if the gold mine is in London, you want to be the first one to get there. And if you can find an opportunity that is like the gold mine, you want to be the first one to get involved. So we are talking about something that is huge, something really, really incredible, and it's to do with cryptocurrency. I believe this is the area where most people will be able to take advantage of and make a lot of money. If you think about it, look back in 15 years' time, and at that time, anyone who used internet and took advantage of internet, they made millions, no doubt, right? We can agree with that. And this is the same thing happening with cryptocurrency. Now, what has cryptocurrency has done? And I want to share some facts with you. So by the end of the presentation, you can make an educated decision whether this industry you want to be part of. And here's what it is about cryptocurrency. Over 2 billion have been invested in new blockchain technology in 2017 alone. And if you look at the people that are involved and the corporation that's involved in cryptocurrency right now, are companies like Santander, Goldman Sachs, and most of you know these names, the major names, billion-dollar companies that are involved and invested in cryptocurrency. Now, since cryptocurrency started, it has created over 10,000 millionaires in the last 5 years. And I know that some of you, I know in this call, you were able to make your fortune from cryptocurrency. Now, if you look at the market capitalization of cryptocurrency as a whole, in 2015, it was just 4 billion. Fast forward 2 years, now cryptocurrency market cap is 200 billion. It's moving extraordinarily fast. And just to mention again, cryptocurrency market has grown by over 10,000% in less than 4 years. And this is what someone says. He says, I believe cryptocurrencies, I believe they are going to change the world. The person who said this, his name is Richard Brand, executive architect of IBM. And Michael Novogratz recently stated that the cryptocurrency market cap will be worth 5 trillion by 2022. So let me just explain what cryptocurrency is for those of you who have no clue what this is. So here's what it is. Before we understand cryptocurrency, it's very important to understand what the evolution of currency. Okay, so when you go back in time, you'd realize there's no such a thing called currency. People had this barter system. And then people moved to gold coins, and from gold coins, people went to paper currency. Like today, many of you use paper money. But we know most people don't use paper money nowadays. Everybody has a bank account, a card. They have a card system, everything digital. And then we have moved into things like PayPal, Apple Pay, and things like that, completely digital. And now we are seeing a new evolution of currency, which is beyond a lot of us imagination, and that's called cryptocurrency. So let me ask you guys this question. How many of you heard of Bitcoin? The question is, what is Bitcoin if you haven't heard of it? So let me give you a brief explanation of what that is. Bitcoin is a first of its kind, global in scale, voluntarily decentralized open source digital currency and payment networks that enables direct, peer-to-peer, borderless, anonymous, nearly instantaneous, nearly free, and it's like cash-like transfer of value. The first currency and money system in the world which has no counterparty risk to hold and to transfer. Now, the supply of Bitcoin is fixed at 21 million, and each Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million pieces. Now, what are the advantage of Bitcoin? So if you look at the advantage of Bitcoin, is amazing. It can do instant transactions. There's no waiting for checks to clear, no chargebacks, no account freezes, no international wire transfer fee, no fees of any kind, worldwide access, always open, no waiting for business hours to make transaction, no waiting for an account to be approved before transacting. And you can open an account in few seconds, just like opening an email, for example, and no bank account is needed. To me, this sounds like the best payment system in the world. You'll agree with me. And here's what it is. Bitcoin is underpinned by a technology called blockchain. So this brings me to the second question. Probably your second question you want to know. Okay, I get it. Bitcoin is digital, but how is this created? So let me just say a few technical facts about how it's created. The Bitcoin mining algorithm is the breakthrough that solved the Byzantine generals problem and allows the network to reach majoritarian consensus as to which Bitcoin transactions are valid and which are not. So essentially, I don't want to go too deep into it, but Bitcoin mining is done through some hardware and it solves some mathematical based puzzles. And as a result, you get rewarded with a digital code, which is your Bitcoin. Now, at the end of the day, some of you looking at this and thinking, well, I don't get it, but how does this work? I don't really get it. But the main thing we have to understand is that you don't really have to understand how Bitcoin is created for you to actually take advantage of it. You see, the math and the technology behind the blockchain is very difficult for us to understand, or for most people to understand, right? But the beauty is that you don't have to get it to use it. So let me ask you guys this question. Do you really get how the internet works? Do you understand how the internet works? For example, if you walk up to a stranger on the road and ask them, hey, do you know what TLS is? Do you know what SSL is? Do you know what DNS or HTTP works? If you ask anyone, they would say they wouldn't have a clue. But these things are underneath of most of the applications that we use on a daily basis. I think the real success of Bitcoin will be when everybody doesn't think about what actually creates the Bitcoin itself, but everybody uses it without knowing how it's being created, just like we use internet today. So just to clarify again, if you don't understand how Bitcoin is created, don't worry, you don't have to for you to take advantage of it. And this is why we are doing this presentation today. So let's go to the next slide. So before I go to the fact that how you can take advantage of it, I just want to maybe re-verify how the currency in the world working today. So there's only three forms of currency in the world, three forms of money in the world. I call it the holy trinity of money. So you have commodity, you have currency, and then you have technology-based currency, which we're talking about earlier, which is Bitcoin, for example. So let's compare Bitcoin with gold. Gold is seen as a commodity. So if you look at the characteristic of gold, you realize that whatever gold has, Bitcoin has the same characteristic, but it has more characteristic to it. This is why a lot of people say Bitcoin is just like gold, but it's just better because it can do a lot of the things that gold can't do. Now, if you compare Bitcoin again to the fiat currency, which is the paper money, right? If you compare them both, you'd laugh because you'd realize that the fiat money has so much flaw to it than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like, it's amazing, right? Fiat money, it loses value in your bank account. So if you have 10,000 pounds in your bank account, but by end of the year, by default, you have lost $300. Why? Because of the inflation, because they can print as much money as they want, and Bitcoin is limited. So let me just give you a brief story about Bitcoin, what Bitcoin has done since it got started. So as you know, that Bitcoin started in 2008 and 2009. That's when it initially came in the market. And in 2011, the value of Bitcoin was 30 cents. By 2013, it was over $1,100. And as of now, it's over $7,000. Now imagine if you had bought some Bitcoin back then, how much would you have right now? And if you look at 2012, that's when a lot of major billion-dollar companies started getting involved because they understood the power of it, like Microsoft and all these other big companies, right? And then you see in 2014, this is when we started seeing all these people who took action back in 2011, 12, and 13. And all of a sudden, we see so many millionaire stories that were created because they took action and bought some Bitcoin. And here's one story that is very interesting. This one individual, he invested $22 worth of Bitcoin. And if you do the math right now, you'd realize that right now, this $22 worth of Bitcoin is worth more than $1 million. Okay, it's $850,000 here. It's worth more than $1 million, 3 or 4 times more. So probably that's about 2-3 million right now. Okay, and in 2016, this is where Bitcoin hit the mass market. Right now, Bitcoin is accepted by 27 million merchants all over the world. And according to a lot of experts, they say that Bitcoin will hit $10,000 by end of this year. And Richard Branson says that Bitcoin could reach $250,000 in the next few years. Some people say that Bitcoin can even hit $500,000, one Bitcoin. And when you go to a website called coinmarketcap.com, right, you'd see that it's not just Bitcoin that is making people a fortune. There's so many other cryptocurrencies. There's over 600 cryptocurrencies in the market. So you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, which is worth about $400 right now, I think, okay? You have Ripple and so many other cryptocurrencies that you can take advantage of. Now, the main question all of you have been waiting for is that, okay, I get it, but how do I get involved in this? Okay, so there's a few ways you can get involved. First of all, you can buy cryptocurrency from different exchange, but the disadvantage is that when you pay with your card and things like that, there's a lot of high fees. At the same time, you need to buy into the right cryptocurrency, because if you buy into a wrong cryptocurrency, then you could lose a lot of money. So it requires a lot of education. Or you can do trading with cryptocurrencies, but the disadvantage is still buying at a cost price and requires skills and education to trade. As you all know, you lose money a lot, you gain little. That's how the trading works. But yes, you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. or you can do your own mining. So if you remember the mining slide I was talking about, you can do your own mining. You can buy those hardware machines in your home, but the disadvantage is that it requires a lot of electricity, makes a lot of noise, and it takes a lot of space. Or you can do cloud mining. So cloud mining is like, there are companies out there who can do the mining for you instead. Okay, so they mine straight away, but the disadvantage is that you can't find many companies that are transparent and legitimate and can show you everything, their mining firm. Okay, so this is why we are here, and we want to introduce you to a cloud mining company which is very transparent and authentic. And they do all the mining for you so that you don't have to do anything. You simply buy a package and you take advantage and you expand your cryptocurrency portfolio. So you cannot just have just Bitcoin, but you can have other cryptocurrency. And the genius behind the vision of this company called Omnia is Robert Velg. He has made a lot of money from this cryptocurrency space, and Omnia was established in 2017. Right now it's operating in 195 countries, and Omnia is a hash power service provider. And the great thing about this company is that you can mine any cryptocurrency that's available in the catalog. So you can make a choice which one you want to mine. And I'll talk about which one you can mine right now. And of course, they're always expanding the catalog. And this is a legal and registered company. And Omnia legally owns all the mining hardware. And this is serviced by a company called Genesis Mining, which I'll speak about on the next slide. And the mining firm we have is located in Iceland, China, and Sweden. So let's talk about our partner, Genesis Mining. So Genesis Mining is a partner of Omnia. Who is Genesis Mining? Well, Genesis Mining is the largest cloud mining company in the entire world. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. It's 4 years old, and they have a customer base of 1.3 million. And what I like about Genesis is that they have the right expertise, they have the right people that does the mining. So what does Genesis do for Omnia? Well, Genesis Mining does the maintenance of the hardware for Omnia. This is what they do, and also they provide the expertise. Now, Omnia owns the hardware and the infrastructure. Omnia provides people a lifetime mining contract, so you only pay one time, but you get mining profit long as there's mining coin available there in the market. And what I love about Omnia is that, of course, the customer support, the mentorship, the training, the leadership, there's no maintenance or electricity cost that you have to pay, and there's a future behind it. So right now we're just mining as a company, but in the future there will be so many other things that we are going into, like AI technology. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You'd learn a lot. This is truly fascinating. Okay, so how do you get involved? Well, we have mining packages. So let me just show you Bitcoin mining packages. For example, you have a master miner package, which is $15,000. What do you buy with it? Well, you get something called hash power, and hash power is essentially what you need to mine cryptocurrency. So you don't need to buy hardware yourself. We got the hardware that produces those hash power. So if you have $15,000 package, you get 85,714 gigahash. But what we do is that we mine for you with 42,857. The company takes 50% of it. The reason they take 50% of it, so that they can maintain your 42,857 gigahash and mine for you for lifetime. Okay, that's the key word, lifetime. So long as there's a coin available there to mine, they'll mine for you, and this hash power is fixed. This will not change. Okay. Now, then you have the elite miner package, which is 25,000, strong miner package, 8,500. And those of you who are thinking, whoa, I don't have that much money. How can I get involved? Well, good news. You can start in Omnia with as much as $100. So you can start with a $100 package, and you still get a mining profit. Yeah. So if you start liking it, maybe then you can upgrade if you want more cryptocurrency. Like, so we have a $500 package We have $1,000 package, we have $3,000 package, and we have this Pro Miner package, which will be available from Tuesday when we have the new back office next week, okay? And then, of course, Ethereum mining package and everything, we have the same thing. Now, I know what most of you are thinking. I get it. But the question I want to know is, how much money am I going to make if I buy a package, okay? And how much do I get? So this is what I'm going to show you. So let me give you an example of one package. So which package shall I choose? Let me choose $8,500 package, okay? So if you have an $8,500 package, you get, 1 second. Okay, so you get 24,285 gigahash. So remember that word. And let me share my screen, how you check. Okay. So if you, this is a mining calculator. So it's called Crypto Compare Mining Calculator. And if you put the hash power in there, 24,285, make sure to change that to gigahash. And make sure to change that power consumption to 0, cost to 0, because you don't have to worry about that. Company does it for you. If you put that in the mining calculator, you see that you're receiving daily, okay, approximately 0.004 Bitcoin. At the end of the year, you're looking at around 1.53 Bitcoin. Now, they pay you directly into your wallet. So imagine if this 1.53, if one Bitcoin goes to $10,000 by end of the in next 1 year, you still have 1.53 Bitcoin. The company doesn't say just because value went up, we're going to give you less. They still give you according to the mining difficulty and everything. So this is really, really cool. Okay, so this is how you check everything. So let me just go back to the slide just to finish here off. Okay. Perfect. So just to finish off the process, how the mining process works, first thing you got to do is select your mining package. Okay, you choose the one that you feel comfortable with. You only pay one time. It's a fixed payment. We start to mine for you, and then you receive daily Bitcoins in your wallet. Now, I want to clarify one thing. When I say daily, it means based on the package you have. So it needs to amount to minimum to certain amount. So if it's Bitcoin, it needs to accumulate to 0.0015 for the company to send you to your wallet. Why? Because to save you money from the fees. Because as you know, there's a transaction fee whenever you do a transaction from wallet to wallet. So instead of, if you have a starter package, don't expect daily payout because it will take some time for it to accumulate to 0.0015. But you don't lose anything. The company keeps it in their wallet until they can send it to your wallet. So this is what I wanted to cover really. Thank you very much for listening to the first part of the presentation. And the second part is something that you can choose to do, but you don't have to do.
I hope you got some value from this. Hope you guys learned something new today, and hopefully you can implement this in your life and probably impact some other people at the same time.
Thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate for your time, for staying focused throughout the call, and we will see you very, very soon. Thank you.